Hello everyone. So welcome back. So in the last class we have discussed both the press and post-independent period, that is contributions of eminent journalists in independent India. In this class we are just continuing the same thing, like we have a few more people left. So we have already discussed about important personalities like S. Sadanand, Frank Morais, K. Ram Rao, N. Chalapati Rao, Potan Joseph, M. Shivaram, and Ramnath Goenka in the last class. So today we are going to discuss, more people, uh, about more people, especially journalists, eminent journalists, and their contributions in the independent India. So let's start with B.G. Varghese. Boobly George Varghese started his career in journalism with the Times of India in Bombay and Delhi, and was later the editor of Hindustan Times and the Indian Express. He was the information advisor to the Prime Minister, a Gandhi Peace Foundation fellow for some years after the emergency, and the information consultant to the Defense Minister for a short period during 2001. He was a recipient of Magsaysay Award in 1975, Assam's Shankar Deva Award in 2005, and Upendranath Brahm Soldier of Humanity Award in 2030. So he received many awards and accolades during his journalistic career. B.G. Varghese has served on a number of official and unofficial boards and committees, including the McBride Commission. It's very important. Like when you study in mass communication, especially, you will be, will be studying about you will be studying about McBride Commission, and he was actually represented India, especially in this McBride Commission. Okay. And he was also a member of the Editors Guild of India's fact finding mission to Gujarat in April 2002. He has written extensively on developmental issues. He is regarded as the pioneer of developmental journalism by writing about the essential developmental requirements in many parts of the country. So you can see that there is a genre, there is a type of journalism called development journalism, which majorly talks about development in development aspects. Okay. And so you like it is said that this guy is one of the pioneers or the pioneer of development journalism in India. Okay, with a keen and enduring interest in developmental reporting and the social transformation, it can help to bring about. B.G. Varghese has authored several books, including The Design for Tomorrow, following the extensive tour of the country and its infrastructure projects. He is also the author of Warrior of the Fourth Estate, an acclaimed biography of Ramnath Goenka of the Indian Express. In October 2010, he published his autobiography, First Draft: Witness to Making of Modern India. That is all about B.G. Varghese. So next we have Arun Shore. Hope you are familiar with this name at least. Arun Shore is one of the India's most renowned and controversial journalists. From 1979 to 1990, he was the most visible face of the Indian journalism, with his insightful writing on a range of subjects and thought bearing sharp logical sense. As the editor of the Indian Express, he introduced a new style of aggressive, independent, and investigative journalism to India. In a series of remarkable exposes, Shore and the Indian Express uncovered corruption in the highest levels of the government and exposed several major scandals of the era. Between 1982 to 1986, Shore wrote for various newspapers and magazines. He was appointed executive editor of the Times of India in 1986, but he was returned to the Indian Express by Goenka in 1987. He resigned from the newspaper in 1990. After that, he devoted his energy to writing books and regular columns which appeared in different languages in 30 newspapers across India. Just imagine, so he contributed a lot for the growth of Indian journalism. And Shori fought many battles in independent India for press freedom. The most famous was his crusade against the government's proposal in 1988 to introduce a defamation bill. It is widely perceived that the bill had been introduced with unusual speed in Parliament, and the entire media community joined Shori. And the Indian Express is condemning the move. So crusade is a type of writing, you are you will be writing stories about that particular. It's like a crusade, you will be writing against one issue, like continuously. If you are attacking, then you can call it a crusade. Okay. And Shori also served as an economist with the World Bank, a consultant to the Planning Commission, and a minister in the government of India during 1998 to 2004. He was awarded the Magsaysay Award in 1982. Next is Kuldeep Nayyar. Kuldeep Nayyar is a veteran Indian journalist, syndicated columnist, author, diplomat, parliamentarian, and human rights activist. Nayyar was arrested towards the end of the national emergency. He writes columns and op-eds. Op-eds are, the columns. I mean, you can find opposite to editorials. These are called, it appears it appears just opposite to the editorial page. For over 80 newspapers, he writes columns and op-eds for over 80 newspapers in 14 languages, including the Daily Star, Sunday Guardian, the News, Express Tribune, Dawn. So these are all Pakistani newspapers, okay? The News, Express Tribune, and Dawn. And he worked with many, many newspapers and news agencies, and he was the editorial assistant of United States Information Service, that is USIS, then press officer of Press Information Bureau, that to the Home Ministers for India, and chairman of Reorganization of News Agencies, editor and general manager of United News of India, UNI, that is a news agency, editor of the Statesman, then the Delhi correspondents of the Times, London, correspondents of the Spectator, London, and the Evening Star, Washington. So just imagine, very, very eminent personality. He was a member of India's delegation to the United Nations in 1996. He was appointed High Commissioner to UK in 1990 and nominated to the upper house of Indian Parliament, that is Rajya Sabha, in 1997. Beyond the Lines, that is the autobiography of man. Okay. And every year since 2000, Nayyar has been leading peace activists to light candles on the Independence Day of Pakistan and India, that is 14th and 15th August, at the border of India and Pakistan, that is near Amritsar. Next personality is P. Saina, an Indian journalist and photojournalist who specializes in reporting social problems, rural affairs, poverty, and the aftermath of globalization in India. He is the rural affairs editor of The Hindu. Amartya Sen has called him one of the world's great experts of famine and hunger. Saina's most important work in the past decade focused on India's agrarian crisis, with roughly 200 exclusive field reports and news analysis and hundreds of photographs. Saina was being reorganized for his passionate commitment as a journalist to restore the rural poor to India's national consciousness. He won Magsaysay Award in 2007 and the Ramnath Goenka Journalist of the Year Award in 2009 from the Indian Express. And another important book is Everybody Loves a Good Drought. It's a book written by P. Saina about his research findings of poverty in the rural districts of India. And this book won the Magsaysay Award. And next is Sujeta Dalal. Sujita Dalal is an award winning business journalist and author. She has been a journalist for 25 years. She was awarded the Padma Shri in 2006 for her investigative journalism spanning 25 years, including the security scam in 1992. Her journalistic career began in 1984 with Fortune India. She has subsequently worked with Business Standard, The Economic Times, so both are financial newspapers, and Times of India. She has been a columnist and a consulting editor for the Indian Express Group until 2008. She is now a consulting editor for Money Life. Sucheta is well known for her numerous investigative pieces, and most notably, I've already mentioned, notably for breaking the security scam in 1992, which was India's biggest financial scandal until then. She has co-authored a book on the security scam with her husband, The Scam, Who Won, Who Lost, Who Got Away. That was in the year 1992. So the press in India had its fair share of highs and lows right from the British period and continue even today. The government has tried to gag the press by enacting strict regulations. Presently, the press is in a comfortable position regarding its freedom. If you see, like you can see that press is in very very kind of very a very comfortable position. So you have the right of freedom now, so you can express anything. And it has come a long way from two-page scandal sheet of Wiki to a highly circulated daily, which maintain international standards. So we do maintain international standard these days. It passed through many stages in its evolution. Now we are on the threshold of a new revolution in techniques and production of newspapers. So we have a very high standard, especially in the case of press and newsprint and the technology we use. And great changes have been about in the news gathering, style of presentation, and interpretation of news. The Indian press is now a powerful organ of public opinion and it has come to occupy a prominent position in the society. So, thanks to all these, eminent journalists and people who struggled a lot to actually uplift the Indian press. So that's all for today. If you have any questions, you can ask me in the live class or you can just share it in the open forum, discussion forum. Thank you.